What was the big question, whether it's fear, whether it's belonging, the idea behind Divergent that you really think audiences are going to flock to?
Oh man, I think they're gonna admire what I should only speak for myself. What I really love about Divergent is it's a world that you can sort of relate to, even though it is a little bit larger than life, and human beings couldn't actually be categorized by virtue. It's a world that you can relate to because it deals with genocide, it deals with society taking over another society, opposing opinions, etc., etc. But I think they're gonna really love watching somebody make the transition from being vulnerable and not really owning herself to coming to a very empowered, strong place, and yet still internally struggling. You know, I always find it interesting who we are on the outside is oftentimes very different than the voices that we speak, that we have inside of our heads. And I think with Tris, you get to see her external experience as well as her internal experience.
And with the idea of fear being such a prevalent theme in the movie, I gotta think in real life, with the hype behind the movie, what kind of fear sets in for you? Sure, there's gonna be a promotion, there's gonna be praise. If you're in the public eye, there's gonna be criticism. What do you fear about the process of being in a big franchise like this?
I don't fear anything about the process. I don't pay attention to any of that external stuff, like the articles and the words. It's none of my business what
Never
other people
reading
think of me. Yeah, and it's also none of your business what I think of you, so it's, you sort of realize that, and then you realize that everything is always going to work out, and then you're going to die anyway, so there's no point in stressing.
Yeah.
And you just have fun. I mean, this is such an amazing time in my life, and I'm so lucky to be on the ride and on the journey I'm on. I'm like, roller coaster goes up, man.
Outside looking in, fear, belonging, all these themes, what was the most pertinent question for you?
For me, I guess there were two themes which seemed very pertinent. One is the idea that he says on the Ferris wheel, she says, you're afraid of heights. I didn't think you were afraid of anything. And he says, no, of course I'm afraid. It's just how you deal with it. And that idea of fearlessness and actually accepting fears but getting over them and how you deal with them was kind of interesting to me. And then the other thing was the idea of choice. I like the concept of determinism, whether these actions that these people take and Tris chooses, whether they have ramifications and whether they change their future, or in fact there's no point because they're just a kind of pawn of fate in a way, and it's already going to happen.
This franchise is really on the cusp of being that next breakout hit. And as a performer in this business, what's your biggest fear of working in Hollywood?
Biggest fear is being basically pigeonholed into one thing, and then the kind of problems that arise from that. And I do think with this, for example, I'll have to be smart post it and during it in terms of what I choose and make intelligent choices, because when people see things, it's easy to say, oh, that person is that. Whereas for true longevity, trying to be an actor, then I think you just need to be constantly changing, Madonna style.
How many wardrobe changes in one movie?
Yeah.
When we look at the culture that's created on set, I mean, you have so many characters. What did Neil Berger, the director of this movie, do so well to create that inclusion, that sense of belonging for all of you on set?
Yeah, he was good, and I was pleased about that. He kind of created a world which, it's not a kind of, they love this idea of dystopia, but it's not a full dystopia, is it? It's a kind of, you buy it at the beginning, and you kind of, even the people who aren't in the movie that long, there's still kind of emotionality and integrity to their parts. What he was good at, he's got very good taste, coupled with he's intelligent, so he never would shirk or dumb down the material. He would always try and put each scene and each section into a place which honored it, but also was smart and because I think now, I genuinely think that audiences change all the time, and I think that the audience are very sophisticated now. So you can't ever dumb anything down. I think he really respected that.